Hello everyone, it's Cute Bunny here. Just got a week 2 purse cash stuffing. I didn't do a week 1 video simply because whatever I needed to buy last week, I bought $30 of groceries on my card. I got my petrol on my card, and so I could take advantage of the voucher before it expired, and then I've got the remaining cash here to pop away into other bits and bobs. And I just used some spending money last week when I needed to buy something and some snacks and whatnot. So I'm back on track again. I had a really busy couple of weeks. I've had a lot going on and I've been very stressed, and I am just, living. But I have actually started doing a big push in the garden. My garden is all tidy and mowed and whippersnipped, and I've done a lot of work out there. I've planted some stuff, and I've got some snow peas and some sugar snap peas and some things coming up in the garden. I've got more to plant. Planted a few things and moved things around yesterday. Transplanted a couple things. And I started to declutter and sort out, and some tidying up in my lounge room, in my kitchen, and rearranged a few things and set up some things around some main power points so that I can take advantage of my 3 free hours of power every day. And that's working really well. My house is warm for 2 or 3 hours later as well. So it's lovely to just have a normal house, feel like a normal household. It doesn't have to stress about power, but I don't have to pay as much for it either, which is great. Okay, so now I don't need to spend all of the money that I had yet, but this is basically the groceries and the weekly money. Now I'm putting $50 into my groceries. I'll just count it first. Let's count it first. So I actually don't know how much is here. 50, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 25. Okay, so what I've done, I do have $50 a week in my budget for groceries this month, but I didn't spend it all last week. So I'm popping 50 in this week. The girl I normally go out with on Mondays, she cancelled 20 minutes before, so I wasn't very impressed. I did a video this morning early beforehand, and there was no sign of her saying that she was cancelling. I ran around and did a couple of things to get ready, and then I got my text to say that she wasn't coming. And I'm like, it's a bit late notice. It's very unprofessional of her, and she does this a lot. But anyway, so there's no hampers this week, so I'm gonna struggle to find have bread products and stuff. So I might even have to make a loaf in my free. Well, for majority, I think it takes a bit over 3 hours, 3.5 hours to make a loaf, but I can get majority of that done. I could probably set it up and start it half an hour before, and then by the time it cooks, it'd be finished probably. So I might have to do that either later in the week, over the weekend, or something if I'm running short on bread. And other than that, we'll be all right. I just go get some milk and a few things in the next couple of days. So. Alright, we're just going to pop this all here, and we'll pop this in my purse, and I'll just explain whatever else has been going on. But yeah, for majority of the time, so this free power thing's good. The only disadvantage is it's making me direct debit to get the better rates, and then the peak rates are higher, but I'm literally not using much power, so I'm running around and getting everything done. I'm washing and drying clothes, running all my heaters and getting my house beautifully warm. And if I need to use the oven and cook, I'll do that in that 3 hours. I haven't had to yet, but I will. I plan on making a pasta bake and probably a cake this week sometime, because we don't have any more food coming in from hampers, and I've got food in the freezer I can also use. But I think my daughter would be interested in some sort of food. We've got veggies and stuff we can use up from last week, so we're okay. No work, no shifts. I am going to apply for a couple of jobs. I need to get off my butt and do those as well this week. So there's just lots and lots of things going on, and I'm sorry about the big chat before, but sometimes you just got to get it out. Let's get this change out. We were at the shops this morning, and I wanted to go and get a few things of junk, like my grain waves and Best Chocolate on Special, and I was 5 cents short, so I put like a note in, and I got bloody 65 cents and bloody all these 10-cent pieces, and I'm like, now I'm annoyed because I only wanted a tiny bit of change and ended up with way too much, and I'm like, oh my gosh. pain in the backside. All right, we're going to keep that $4 there for now because I have plenty of change over there. But we're going to pop, I'm actually going to pop 20, a 20, a 10, and a 5 in the purse, as well as a tiny bit of change if I do have a thing like that again, and that change can go over there. I will have enough to finish my change challenge, but I think I might do it as a separate video because I'm going to need to count it, and I need to go and get the money box that's got the rest of the money in it and do a big count up with you. So I think that's big enough for one full video. So groceries are done. Now it's a bit tricky because I had a note here with things, but it's not the full note because it's like the rest of the month's note. So let's take those receipts out. I don't need them now. But basically, the cat's getting 20 just because I worked and got a little bit extra money, and she's always short. Her envelope is always short, and I'm going to have to try and up it. So when I have a little bit of extra money coming in, whether that's from work or wherever that's from, I am going to have to push to get that, because she goes to the toilet a lot, and it's really hard to keep the litter box clean. And then when she thinks it's dirty, even when it's clean, she just pees all over the puppy pads on the bottom of the thing. So I need more than $5 a week for her. She probably needs $10 a week. So I'm just giving that a boost while I had that extra bit of money. So that's what that one is. And that one can completely be crossed out now because that's done. That one's done. Now, 25 in petrol. I had left over from my petrol budget for the month. What I would like to do with that, what did I decide I wanted to do with that? I would like to put, do you know what I want to do? Do you know what I might do? We're going to put, I've only got 10s. Right. I'm going to pop 5 of it in a soda stream. We're going to swap the 10 out for the 2 5s. And then we're going to stick another 5 in. That's soda stream spending. I'd like to put some 5 in a buffer. And the other 10 is going into my camping extras. So we'll pop that over there for a sec. I'm actually going to do this now just because I'm always buying something. I'm always needing stuff. Camping extras. We're going to put that in there, because that's normally what I do, is I put it towards camping. But I think I want to put it in my extras just because I've been putting money aside for camping for like the last part of the 7 or 8 months, and I haven't been camping since last year because I was working more. So 50, 40, 50. So that's building up to something enough to be able to actually really buy something one day with that soon. So that's great. We're just going to leave that there to dry that for that moment. So that's the petrol money done and dusted, and I can cross that one off because that's now no longer needed. Everything else still has to be left, but there's just whatever's remaining. So now what's left? So we have, okay, so I pulled $10 of my miscellaneous out. And went and spent it this morning at the shops with my daughter. So that was last week's miscellaneous $10. So this week's miscellaneous is getting $10. So we'll pop that in here. So that's that one. And then, what's the 5 from? Oh, no. Still 25 here. What have I done? As usual, what have I done? Hang on a second. I actually don't know what that 5's for. I'm actually going to just leave it because it's probably got its purpose, but I'll leave it. And this is spending for the last 2 weeks. So week 1 and 2 spending is in here. And I've already got money in here because I've been keeping that extra money aside to spend on whatever I want. So I'm going to pop the 10 in, and there's 22 in there, and then there's 10 in the miscellaneous, and I've got $5 in shopping treats and $50 for groceries. So that's plenty of money and the cat's got was 54 for groceries, and there's actually plenty there for everything. So what I'm thinking is I might pop this $10 into the savings challenges, because it hasn't seen any money for a very long time, since like this month, because I just haven't got the extra money for it. So pop this one back. Oh, did that get that money? 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, yes, thank goodness. I was just hoping I made sure I did it. Okay, right. Okay, that's that one done. So let's see if we can finish a savings challenge out of this spare 10 from last week, because that makes me feel like I'm actually doing something useful towards what I'm trying to achieve, which is all this other stuff. I think this one has got $10 left. 2, 4, 5. So I'm going to do this one for 10. And we're going to finish off this one from Kimmy's budget. No, Kimmy's corner, sorry. So that one's done. 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 15 total, done. So that would be this one and this one. That's my 15 for that challenge, and that's finished. So I will pop that with I'll grab a paper clip in a second. And we've got our $5 from there still. So that one needs 25. Ugh, that's a lot. I wanted to get these finished and pass them on to somebody. And I actually have somebody in mind I'm going to send these. I'm thinking about sending these to. There's a couple of people I want to send some stuff to eventually. I just need to make sure I can send them with a stamp in an envelope or something to that nature, just so I can keep the costs affordable and manageable for myself. But I like to pass the love on, because plenty of people have given me lots and lots of, happy mail love, and I really do appreciate you all so much, and I just want to be able to give back at some point, within my means, of course. I won't go overboard, I promise. All right. So that one's done. Let's get a paper clip. You know what? We're going to use my cute little new doggy one that I was given. So that is now a finished savings challenge for August. Yay. Because I feel like August is going to be a little bit quiet compared to other months. And my Christmas in July I really pushed for last month. So I feel like I was going to take a hit this month if I don't keep on top of things. So yeah, and obviously I don't want to use all my rollover for my spending, because the spending is coming from my Buy Me a Coffee donations, and I like to have a little bit of spending money in my purse, so I just don't feel like I am completely poor and skint all the time. I do not want to feel like in that mode. I want to feel abundant on my low income. Regardless of my income, I don't want to feel poor. I want to feel abundant. And I am very responsible and putting all these money away. You know that every week I'm sinking funds, I'm saving to sinking funds, I'm saving towards my car. I'm doing all of the right things. I do need everyone needs a little bit of money to spend on themselves and do stuff. And I'm trying to find a way to make it all work, but also keep being responsible and putting myself in the position that I'm saving first and spending later. And I'm doing a really good job. So that's kind of like the trade-off. So miscellaneous extra leftover will go towards either stuff I need, or it can go into the extra savings challenges. It just is what it is right now. Even if things continue this way for 6 months, I'm still going to be ahead, because I'm already saving ahead. And all this monthly money, scratch offs and all this monthly money, that's going towards my month, not my month ahead, but I've got bills ahead. I'm already working on paying those ahead. So I should be in front by the end of the year. And then, that my 2026-27 binder where I'm putting money aside for a full month of spending and things like that, groceries and petrol and spending and all that. This money's all going towards that. So the rest of this money is going towards that. there's just not much extra to put towards that at the moment. So I don't know if we'll have a full 2 months, but we'll keep working on it and we'll see where we end up. That's all I can do at this point. All right, well, thank you for hanging out with me. That keeps me up for the week. I don't have great amount of plans this week. I don't have a great deal of things on. I'm thinking about organising a camping trip, but I'm going to have to check the weather, because you can do you can do the buy, stay 3, pay for 2 over winter, and it doesn't fit, and that finishes the end of August because that's the end of winter. So I'm trying to check the weather reports and check the rain and the wind mainly, and see if I can find a window of enough days to feel like I can go and actually make it worth it. So in the meantime, I'm also decluttering and stuff, and I'll start sorting out a few of my camping things as well. But if I go in a caravan park, I don't need to take all my solar panels and all my batteries and things. So, and I don't need to take my shower tent. I don't need to take extra water. It's so much easier if I go in a caravan park for now. So I'll probably, I wouldn't mind doing that. Maybe the first camp I do back since last year, I probably wouldn't mind doing a caravan park one just to get back into it, so I'm not missing anything important. And if I go local, well, within half an hour-ish away, if I forget something, I can come back. If I go too far away, I can't come back. I'm normally really good. I normally don't forget anything. Everything has a bag or its own little, I've got different sorts of bags for different sorts of camping things, and everything, I usually can just pull everything out of the cupboard and know where it is. But because I haven't camped for a while and my stuff just got dumped randomly and didn't get put back properly, and I'm trying to sort the camping cupboard out while I'm decluttering and sorting out some other excess in my house, I also want to be able to do that. So it might be a good chance to just do a caravan park camp first and then get myself back into the swing of things, so I can make sure I don't miss out on anything important. If I'm a couple hours away, I can't come home. So all right, guys, enjoy this nice weather if you're Aussies. We're getting some really nice weather the last couple of days. My house is beautiful and warm. I'm going to enjoy that. And I'm going to turn the heater back on and the fan back on and keep the room temperature in here good. And see where I can, what I did with that $5, where that $5 came from. And if it doesn't belong anywhere, I'll stick it away and I'll use it next week. All right, bye guys. Have a great day.